Hello friends, welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for joining me. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my completed pages for January 2026. I had to pause over there because I almost said 2025. Anyway, yes, I worked in 5 books and I did 10 pages. So without further ado, let me take these books away and then we can get into the pages for today's video. Let's start with 30 Days of Creativity by Johanna Basford, and I did these 2 pages. So let me start with this one. This is a page. As you can see, we have cups or mugs and some spoons, some kettles, like tea related items. So yeah, this is very colorful, very bright. I use colored pencils and then I use gel pens too for the very tiny drawings or doodles, and white gel pen for some highlights, and I really like how it came together. Most of the time when I'm coloring pages like this, I think, oh, I'll be done in a few minutes, but a few hours, sorry, but it takes a lot of time because even though they are very tiny objects to color, they're a lot, so it ends up taking so much time, but I'm happy with how it turned out. And then I also did this page, so I have like a short video of this as part of my 30 days of creativity playlist. You can check that out if you haven't seen it. And this is like from this page as well, so it's the two go together. So the cups were empty and you had to do your own design or your own, coloring. So I had a few ideas. I knew I wanted like a polka dot cup, a cup with a single color, and then one with stripes, and one with like the fine china blue and white sort of theme. And yeah, so for the rest, I also wanted something to have like coffee or tea, something like that incorporated with the page. So I wrote I love coffee, and then I drew this, and I also drew the tea and then the clock to signify tea time. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this page turned out. And I think my favorite cup, I really like this one. I like this one too. I think I like them all. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this page turned out. So for this page, I use watercolor pencils and then I activated with water, and then I went over with colored pencils. For this one, I use just watercolor. For this one, for the flowers, I use my acrylic markers. I have some acrylic markers, so that's what I used over here. And then for the gold on this uh around the hearts, I use my metallic watercolor, and that's how this page came together. And I also did one final page in 30 days of creativity, and it was this page. So if you've watched some of my completed pages video, you know I did this like 3 or 2 months ago. I'm not too sure, but it was last year. So I just decided to finish so that they go together. And then I colored this page as well. So I also use colored pencils and gel pens for the very tiny flowers and leaves. When I was doing mine, because I drew all these, I made the leaves and the things to color a little bigger so that I'll have space. But over here, like Johanna has very, very tiny doodles, so I had no choice, and I used gel pens for the very tiny parts. And then for the background, I used watercolor pencils, which I activated with water. So as you can see from here, I did like a blue, like dark blue to the lighter colors, but here I just decided to go with the lighter colors, and then I left the dark blue. So yeah, I'm also happy with how this page turned out. So that's all I did in this book. I also did a page from Mythic World by Kerby Rosanes, and it was this page. So this is the Druk or Drak, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, from Bhutanese mythology. And yeah, so going in, I kind of wanted a blue and red color scheme. I don't know why, but that was the vision. So I went online and I looked for some blue and red color palettes. And so I had the idea. That's why the creature is blue. But for some reason, as I started coloring, the red didn't show as much because the clouds are mainly yellow with some oranges and red for the shading, and the background also turned out like dark blue. But I think it still works out nicely, and I like how it came together. So for the initial layer or the first step, I used watercolor pencils, and then I activated it with water, and then I went over with colored pencils. And I also tried to to cover some of the black lines with acrylic markers over here, somewhere over there. And for the balls in his claws or hands, I used a metallic watercolor. So I think it shimmers or it shines a little bit. And yeah, this is how this page turned out. It was a long process because I did the entire background with like colored pencils after the first layer. And if you use watercolor, you know that like almost every time the very first layer is very light. And I don't like using two layers of watercolor because I'm scared of what might happen. Maybe it will bleed through to the next page. So I just use one layer and just going over with colored pencils. It took so long, but yeah, I think it was good, and in the end I'm happy with how it turned out. So this is also another page done in this book. I also did a page from True Beauty, and yeah, this is one of my oldest coloring books that I haven't been showing so much love lately. But yeah, this is how this page turned out, and I have a video of the coloring process of this page along with some tips for beginner adult coloring. So please feel free to check that video out as well. And yeah, this is how it came together. So because it was the last page, I used alcohol markers as a base, and now that I look at it, I think it looks like a yearbook picture. So yeah, I mean, it's a series about high school students, so I think it's not too far from that, analysis or prediction. Anyway, yeah, this is the page. I really like the hair. I feel like it has this, very subtle shades of brown and, like orange. I like how the hair came out and the face as well. Yeah, it's just, a very neat uh page in my opinion. And yeah, another page done in this lovely coloring book. I also did a page from this Magic Journey into the Wizarding World coloring book. And this is a book I bought online. I didn't know much about the artist or like, the book source. And at first I wasn't sure if it was AI or from human beings, but now I think it's AI, probably to some extent, because when I was coloring, some parts of the picture didn't really make sense. Like the mouth was opened till like the hairline, so I had to cover this part up. And yeah, anyway, this is how it turned out. I really like the hair. It feels very flowy and there's a lot of movement in it. And I also like the gold plate. I feel like it looks very metallic or like three-dimensional. And yeah, so I used alcohol markers as a base, and then I went over with colored pencils. There were some feathers over here, but I wasn't in the mood to do all that, so I just used black to cover this whole place up. And then yeah, I colored the leaves in her hair. So this is like a cute page of a tree or plant nymph or fairy. Yeah, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm not too pleased with the skin because when I was coloring, like the marker I was using ran out, so I had to use another one. So trying to correct that mistake, it made the skin like too warm for my liking or like what I envisioned. Anyway, this is another page done in this book. I also did a little bit of bold and easy coloring. This is Coco Wyo's Hugo Place, and I did this page. So this is one of the pages I did, and I spoke about wanting to finish a book in my coloring journal setup video. So this might probably be the book I finish. because I've done more pages than the ones I've not done. So yeah, let's finish this book as soon as possible. So this is a teddy bear bakery page, and it's very cute. I like the brown and the red color scheme going on, because I don't think I use those colors together that often. So when I used it here, I was pleased with how it turned out. And I also drew in the fire. I don't know if oven fire is supposed to be this high. Maybe the bread will get burnt. I don't know. But yeah, I also added the fire. And this is how this page came together. It's very cute. My only problem is with this part. Like, I didn't really measure the lines well. So yeah, it doesn't look uniform like the grids. But yeah, it is what it is. And this is another page done. And then I also did this page. So these are some cats. One is sleeping, one is playing. And I like this page. It looks very clean and relaxing. So that's the feeling I get when I open this page. So yeah. And for these pages, I used alcohol markers and then colored pencils with some gel pens for highlights. And then I also did another page. So this is more snow or winter Christmas themed page, and I really love this page as well. It's very colorful. I like the coffee in the cup. It looks very cozy. Yeah, so this is another page done. And then I also did this page. So this is an ice cream page. I got the idea for the pink and like mint green color scheme from my Apple's Forest Girl coloring book. There's a page about a Christmas page, and it's the banner over here had those colors. So when I saw it over here, I was like, oh, okay, it just reminded me of that page. So I decided to use that color scheme for this side and this side as well. And I like how it turned out. And I don't know if you can tell, but I colored some food items this month. And I have been avoiding like the food themed pages for as long as possible. I don't know why, but I haven't really colored them. So I fear like I might not be able to do them justice. But this month I tried, and yeah, I'm happy with the results. So I would be coloring more food related pages in this book, and eventually finish this book this year. So those are all the pages I did this month. I know 10 may be a lot and may not be a lot to some people depending on how much you color in a month, but it all depends on how much you enjoyed these pages, and I did. I think my favorite pages were the this one. Yes, this Christmas or snow page, and then the marks from 30 Days of Creativity. I also love this page. And finally, the yearbook page. So yeah, those are my top 3 pages for this month. And thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what page or pages were your favorite. And until next time, have fun making art, coloring, and exploring your creativity. Bye bye.